Scientists have found dozens of genes related to cancer. The challenge now is to understand how damaged DNA, like this sample from a cancer cell, causes disease and death. Most cells in our bodies are supposed to grow and divide, but occasionally that growth will get out of hand. A cell will keep dividing endlessly. That runaway growth becomes a tumor. That's cancer. Cancer is one of the most urgent medical mysteries. 1 in 4 Americans will die as a result of malignancies. A cancer cell can also break off and get swept away through the bloodstream. If that malignant cell lodges somewhere else in the body, a new tumor can start growing. That's called a metastasis. These are the first pictures ever taken of a cancer cell slipping between healthy cells, as they do when cancer spreads throughout the body. But seeing cancer cells at work and understanding how they act are two different things.
When we can understand the basis of a cancer, we can try all sorts of tricks for a therapy. It might be gene therapies, it might be small molecule therapies. The key is having an understanding of what's wrong. We've been trying to treat diseases without even knowing, in many cases, what's wrong. And it's a triumph that we've succeeded in many cases, but it's dependent on luck. The idea of having the complete inventory of the parts and where they work in the body, in health and in disease, means that we don't have to depend so much on luck. We can be systematic. And that's a real engine of progress.
The typical American has a 1 in 3 chance of developing cancer. But some people, like Lindahl Southern, inherit a genetic trait that makes cancer almost certain. Lindahl's mother developed breast cancer at the age of 28 and died 4 years later.
I have cancer at the ages of 18 months, 14, and then 30 and 34, I guess. I don't even remember my own. Isn't that sad?
Lindahl's battle against cancer of the jaw left scars on her face. She decided to become a nurse so she could help other people who are living with cancer. Her genetic condition is rare, but it turns out that her disease involves a gene that is central to the story of most cancers. Lindahl's story involves a vital protein that's present in all our cells. It's called P53. These proteins are nursemaids of a sort for DNA. They bind to our DNA and stop our cells from dividing at the wrong time, so they can stop cells from growing out of control and becoming cancerous. P53 proteins work in concert with other proteins to help maintain cells in a healthy state. Cancers can sometimes start when another gene sends out an erroneous signal, telling the cell to divide at the wrong time. P53 and its helpers can shut off this incorrect signal. In this example, a protein called RAS is malfunctioning. This is a common step in some cancers. RAS starts sending chemical signals through the cell into the chamber where the DNA resides, the nucleus. These molecules bind to DNA and tell the DNA to start making a copy of itself. That's the first step a cell takes as it prepares to split in two. But if it is not time for the cell to divide, another protein will come along. Its job is to remove the chemical signal from the DNA, but it doesn't always win this battle. This is where P53 enters the picture. P53 binds to the DNA and activates some defensive enzymes. These defender enzymes then stop the inappropriate chemical signals. If P53 has done its job right, the cell won't divide at the wrong time, and runaway growth, cancer, is halted in its tracks. Lindahl has faced a lifetime of cancer because she was born with damaged P53 genes.
How are you? I'm glad to see you. You're great to come. Come in, come in.
As a result, she has a defect in her P53 protein.
How are you?
Everyone who inherits this malformed P53 is at high risk of cancer.
Your situation with mutations
In about half of all cancers, doctors find that P53 doesn't do its job. That happens because the genetic blueprint that tells the body how to make P53 gets damaged. That's a common consequence of aging. In Lindahl's genetic code, just one pair of letters is missing. That flaw is in the instruction that tells her cells how to build P53. As a result, when her body builds those proteins, they don't come out right. These enzymes can't do their job. Her P53 protein tries to bind to the DNA, but it can't. And that makes Lindahl vulnerable to cancer.